Hi, this is George Alger. Welcome to today's segment of Our Ventura TV. Today we're going to be talking about mail art, and our guest expert is James Graca, who is a designer and an artist. Welcome, James. And what is mail art?
Hello, George. Nice to be here. Thank you. Well, mail art can be basically anything. It can be postcards, paintings, collage, even objects that are mailed through the mail. And they can either go to exhibitions, they can go to a group of mail art artists that are all around the world. What they were trying to do, or what they want to do, is they want to sort of get their art out and circumvent the galleries, so that they can circumvent the galleries and just have people see their art. So they can do one piece the same way and keep it, copy it so that you have 30 copies and mail it out to 30 people, or you can do 30 different pieces and mail it out. It's pretty fun stuff. It can be anything.
Oh yeah, cool. Now you mentioned the idea of bypassing a gallery, which of course mail art would do that, but it also suggests that an artist that would be interested in getting the work in a gallery is probably an established artist. All right. So just to highlight the point, you don't have to be an established artist to do mail art, correct?
No, you don't. Anyone can do mail art, which is really fun. All you have to do is just sit down and create something, put a stamp on it and put it in the mail, or put it in an envelope and put it in the mail. And the great thing about it too is, as stressed as our poor postal workers are, they love seeing this wild stuff coming through. And I've gotten things with envelopes that are just unbelievably decorated with three-dimensional things and rubber stamps and stickers and drawn on and painted on. And when they're coming through the post office, I mean, it cheers these guys up, so it's pretty fun.
Good. So the mail art can actually include the envelope itself as well as what's in the content, or what's
Yes.
inside the envelope.
It doesn't have to be an envelope. It can just be a postcard or a piece of art that conforms to the regulations of the post office, and then mailed. So yeah.
Good. Now, you're also here to talk about a particular call for mail art. So
Yeah.
let's distinguish mail art that someone might just send to someone as a personal communication, as opposed to a formal call for mail art.
Okay. I've got a poster I designed for this particular exhibit that's coming up, and it's called the Post-Pandemic Mail Art Exhibition, exhibit basically. And the post is a play on postal, obviously. And the theme of it is Art Saves Lives. And would you like me to just give you a few of the requirements real quick?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, great. I'm going to read them because there's several. Okay. So you can mail it, anything goes, mail it in. It's got to be, though, there are a couple of requirements. Got to be a 6x9 size for the postcard, or in a 6x9 envelope when it's mailed. It's got to be postmarked by April 1st. And then the exhibit will begin on April 15th, which is World Art Day. And it'll be in moving spaces throughout Ventura, I think the Old Town Ventura. And then the final exhibit will be in a gallery. The people, there's no, the great thing about mail art, there's no entry fees, there's no juries. Artwork is received and considered donated to the Art Life Foundation, which is this particular exhibit. And all Art Life will be displayed, but they do reserve the right to exclude any inappropriate things of violence or any things like that. And if you include, the artist includes their email address, they'll get a digital, and I'll show you in a moment, a digital copy of a limited edition of Art Life magazine. One of the pages, I believe, or maybe it's the whole copy. I'm not quite sure on that, but they do receive something in return. That's sort of the mail art ethos. It's sort of like I mail you something, you mail me something.
Very good. So this particular call for mail art is it's in April of 2020. So there will be viewers who are watching this after that date. But for them, let's speak a little bit about the idea of just mailing mail art to others that are not part of a formal event or a formal call.
Well, The interesting thing about mail art is it goes back a ways. It was in the Dada movement with Duchamp and with Kurt Schwitters especially, and he would make these insane pieces, the Dada pieces, and mail them out to his friends and enemies probably too. There was John Hartfield, who I really like. He was a Dada collage artist in the 1930s and 1940s and the 50s. But the interesting thing about John Hartfield is he would create these collages that were so anti-Hitler when the brown shirts were coming in and during World War II. And he mailed them directly to Hitler. And
Wow.
Hitler got them. And he put John Hartfield on a death sentence list. And he had a couple close calls, but he survived, and the rest is history. The other thing about it is when it really started to take off was in the 1960s. There was an artist in New York named Ray Johnson, and he started doing it actually in 1943, but in 1963, he really did it on a big scale. And one of his friends coined the term the New York Correspondence School for that particular group of artists that were working in the mail art. And it was a pretty neat thing that they would do, and that's just gone on since then. And it's picked up between the 70s and 80s. It got really big during this pandemic, when people cannot go out to galleries and they cannot go and do things. People are doing mail art pieces, or they're actually doing now mail art pieces that are emailed. And so there's a lot of ways that people are always thinking about on how to get their artwork out to people.
Wow, that is amazing.
Yeah.
And there's also some, at least some evidence out in the world regarding a renewed interest in just physical mail in general, as apparently the amount of mail has gone down since the internet age. So it makes sense that we'll see even more of it in the future. Okay, so James, we're getting near the end here. I'm wondering if you want to make a little bit more of a tie-in with this particular call for mail art to Art Life.
Okay, great. Well, Art Life was a publication that was done for 25 years by Joe Cardella, and his foundation, the Art Life Foundation, is the ones that are sponsoring this. And he would do these publications, 150 or 250 editions for each mailing, 11 months of the year for 25 years. And what he would do is he would put out calls for entry from all around the world, and they would send 150 of the same image to him so that he could create 150 of the publications. But I mean, this has got, a rubber fried egg on it. And I mean, just the things, this one, real quick, this artist was from Cuba, and he did the front cover, the back cover, and then he also did the inside. All original art, all hand done. And then all the artists in here, they're from the United Kingdom, California, United States, Germany, Cuba, all around the world. So Joe did this for 25 years. And he was an amazing artist to begin with. He was a real sort of Dadaist artist, very avant-garde. Nothing was sacred in terms of being created into art all around his house. And he was doing this. And this became one of the top publications of mail art. And it went out on subscriptions, and the museums, it went out to museums. So the MoMA, Museum of Modern Art, New York has it. The Guggenheim has it. I believe the Whitney has it, because the Whitney did the very first in 1973 mail art exhibition for a museum. And what Joe would say is he would put out the call for entries, and he would say, how else would you get your artwork in a museum? And so there they are. And they're all limited edition. Each one is numbered on each page of the artist. They're numbered as to what piece it was in that series.
That's great. So that's a little bit of a historical reference. This particular call for mail art you were speaking about a few moments ago, that's not pertinent to this. It's not going to, these mail art, the current mail art is going to be shown in Ventura, but it's not going to be made into magazines.
Right. The magazines ended in 2006.
All right. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, James, we're out of time here, so I'm going to have to end things. Thank you so much for this information and for joining us today.
Great. Thank you, George. Enjoy.
This is George Alger signing off for this segment of Our Ventura TV. Until we meet again.